Thank you very much. So, okay, everybody, welcome Jamali, the cultural avenger, a roots reggae, roots reggae artist who has been in the business and active recording and performing since the mid-90s. And right now you also have a new album out from earlier this year called Pleasant Place, which was up for the Grammy consideration.
Yes.
So I say again, welcome to For the Love of Reggae.
Thank you for having me and For the Love of Reggae, because you don't know that's our heart, that's our soul, you know, that's what gives us purpose. Yeah.
Yes.
So good thanks for being able to join you and to share this vibe on your platform, Sister Evelina. Salute.
Thank you. Salute. Yeah, so as I said, you know, you're not new to this situation of an interview, but for all the people now who might not know about you and your background, I would like to start with you telling us more about your childhood, growing up in Jamaica, and the musical inspirations around you and those kind of things.
Well, just normally like any other child, we grew up in Jamaica, and the music is a part of our life growing up, a soundtrack to our lives. So, you know, basically all the artists, all the music that we used to hear, we never know, say, most of them had American roots, you know, sung by Jamaicans, or original songs also where we could dance to, you know. So none of them, remember me born and growing in the country, so, you know, and grew up in a highly kind of religious household. So we were never exposed to, although we may have been exposed to the songs, to the music, because in proximity to where we live, in proximity we did have, you know, dance halls. And at them time, the sound systems, you could have probably hear, if you're downwind from a sound system, you could hear it playing 2 and 3 miles away. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, being just used to the music, growing up, hearing it, and not really knowing who some of these singers are, but you just know, say, it resonate with you on the street level, on the ground, you know. You see what I say, where everybody, you could tell which were the favorite songs. A lot of these singers, we never know who they were until, you know, until me start getting to reggae music. Until me start showing more interest as a youth, as a, you know, teenager. Yeah, man.
Okay. So you would say then you yourself, you started, when did you start singing and those kind of things? Was that when you were a teenager, like you said, or?
No, before that, man. Before that, you know, in school, in what would you call, between the ages of 6 years old, depends on how advanced you are. Between the age of 6 to 10-year-old, you'll attend a primary school. 10 or 11 years old, depends on how advanced you are, which time of the year you're born. So it's between the age of 6 and 11-year-old. You attend all the primary school, or whatever they call junior high school. You would take part in a lot of school concerts. Friends of mine, of course, we used to singing at the church and so on. But it wasn't anything. Them time there as a youth, you know, you think that everybody can sing. You know, everybody. Jamaica is a place where a lot of, you know, fundamentally in a lot of cultures, when people doing, you know, one kind of laborious kind of work, they do it to a rhythm. Remember, that's the sound of the man working on the chain gang. You get what I'm saying? All you hear is who, ha. So when the grassroots people sing along like that, of course, you growing up, you think you in your mind, you're like, everybody could sing, but the average Jamaican can carry a tune, you know. because we do everything to music. We do everything to music. Even though some of us love country music, some of us love religious music, some of us just love roots music, and many of us love the modern type of music, whatever was going on at the time. It's like we are going right now, you know. So, but
Yeah.
basically, Jamaican people, we love music. So I guess I couldn't differentiate as a youth that, you know, I couldn't tell the difference. Everybody is just some people can carry a tune, not everybody can actually, you know, sing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
discovered that long after. So, you know,
Really?
yeah, man.
Yeah. What time, when, so was that like in your teenage years then that you started to
No.
get
Well,
into
earlier,
music
like,
yourself?
you know, some youth, you have some youth where you know some youth, you know, who were, you know, take for instance, we have a Jamaican Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, a man who started from them at 6 years old. You have a few Jamaican artists. Dennis Brown is one of them, you know, who
Yeah.
were child prodigies. You see what I said? Who could have sing
Yeah.
really well from before them turned 10 years old. Who could
Yeah.
discern the difference, you know that they could sing, you know. Where I grew up in the country, you know, Dennis Brown's father was a pantomime participant, actor, and so on, and used to take part in the Jamaican version of Broadway then.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? What we call pantomime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, in
Okay.
Jamaica.
Yeah. But my
Dennis
question
Brown.
was really about you yourself. Like
Yeah,
what
yeah. So
age
that's what I'm trying to explain to you, that a lot of people had the influence from their parents
Mhm.
who were young and became child prodigies as a result. Dennis Brown, Beanie Man, Nuff Man, you know,
Mm.
Ernest Wilson, Freddie McGregor. For some of us, it wasn't the same journey. For some of us, we just we grow into love it, you know, and started
Mhm.
really early, like myself starting as a 13-year-old. But me never know between the age of 6 and 10 that, you know, that you know, people just basically could carry a tune. They couldn't really sing. They could just sing along
Mhm.
with whatever, yeah, but they weren't really singers. So me never discovered that until probably like 10, 11 years old. But I've been
Mhm.
singing since I was a little boy. You get what I'm saying? I never took it for anything because my entire family could sing. Where people were very musical.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't really something that was special for me because I had brothers and sisters, mother and father. Everybody could sing, really, when we used to get together and sing along as I would sing and pray, all them things there. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it was just normal for me, for me at least. You see what I'm saying? It was just a normal thing. So, you know, me never really started to get the passion for it until me start broke out from under the religious constraints and start go a road and start interact with the dancehall culture. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? People in the dancehall and really start get a love for it. That's how we started. That's how we started in the country. Started following sound systems, you know. And by the time I get to 13 years old, you know, me start go, you know, me had a little bit enough experience. Me started going to a studio. Look, when I was in church, when I was growing up, and we were doing like um there's a very popular thing that's going on in Jamaica. It's kind of a America's Got Talent or kind of thing like that, but
Mm.
for the religious community. So all the churches would put their very best and do quarterfinals, semifinals, then finals, and you know, the church that I'm from would make it into the final. I was one of the lead singers. So we're used to that from the church days growing up, you know? Yeah, from singing in church.
Yeah.
That was our first real exposure to audience critique and your response from the audience about, you know, what you're trying to convey to them. So, you know, and, you know, so me used to the whole kind of arena from a little youth, you know. So I guess that kind of gave me the confidence to start, you know, the reggae music world, really. That's what gave me the confidence, you know. So that's where it started from. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Sister Evelina. That's where it started from, you know.
Yeah. So then,
then
after, yeah, sorry, go on.
And then I used to have a brother who was very well known, you know, as a younger man at the time. I obviously him youngest sibling as a boy. But so him as a bigger, you know, bigger sibling for me, older sibling I should say, him are the one who me see what would I call get a superstar. You know that kind of way. That's what he was, you know. So I had already begin for Ghana experience from him, from the church, from being at school, from singing in school, you know. I'm being called Junior T at school, you know. Yeah, because Cockatee was also from our area, what you call the same county or district, or not the same district but neighborhood, not even neighboring neighborhood. You get me?
Okay, could you name it? Could you name it? It's in Clarendon.
It's in Clarendon, and the place where I come from, named Rocky Point, which is one of the biggest fishing villages in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And we come from a place named Clarendon, named Racecourse. Sorry, Racecourse there, which is on the coast also, but is like 7 miles inland, 3 miles on the coast. You know, you get what I'm saying? So we come from a neighboring place. So my classmates, they used to call me Junior T as a result. You see me I say? As a result of Cockatee. Mainly because my name Thomas also. Thomas is my last name, so them call me Junior T, you know? You get what I'm saying? So yeah. What if I experience this time, Evelina? What if?
Yeah. So you said like after that you came into the sound system world, or like was that you were still in Clarendon at that time, or when you started going around with sound systems early on in your, you know,
No,
teenagers?
yeah, as I said, I probably started singing on the first time I sing on a sound system. I was probably 11, 12 years
Oh,
old. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, man. And yeah, and 2 years later, I reached the studio in Kingston because there were no studios in Clarendon. So yeah, 2 years later, we reached the studio, and it was history after that. After that, you know, we never stopped. You know, although we still go to school and all of that stuff. So then I say,
Okay.
yeah, man. So
Yeah.
remember, we never born and grow up. We come from Clarendon, so Kingston is a new thing for we. When we
Yeah.
begin to play Kingston. So then I say, as a teenager. So teenage years now is when we start going around from the ages of like 13 to 15 years old, and when we start going across all the different parishes in Jamaica and whatever sound systems that would be there, you know, they usually have a little section, you know, a little spot for young artists before whatever already established artists will pass through. They would usually come through probably like, you know, 12 midnight, That's when it's start time. But you know, by they would start toasting the mic in dance from 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, and that time young artists could get a little shine, before the real stars them come. Well, now that section we used to go. That's how we establish ourselves, School concerts, neighborhood concerts. You get what I'm saying? I was well known in my neighborhood just by the name. I wasn't well known by face, but I was well known by the name. Everybody heard about me and all of that. That alone made me feel, say, yes, we should have just pursue and go and do it more. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, it was a gradual thing. It would take time to grow. Yeah, man. This is how we start learn to. It was during this time we also discovered that I got the idea. So we must start write my own songs. So I say, because it was a competition dancehall at that time. You did have to have some cover versions that you're prepared to sing. You'd probably need to have a DJ who both of you are par like this. You get what I'm saying? Because your song may need a little toasting, and then you'd come back to it. So all of that time when we are battling in a dance hall, you would have other singers that come and practice the same songs that you already practice. You know what I mean? So you say,
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna start writing my own songs. So this how that's why I appreciate my whole journey, because the whole journey has helped me to develop my own skills, and really did I look to feel good about the craft unless you develop your own skills. You get what I'm saying? And that was just my approach, and from that we never turn back. You see what I say? So yeah, man, that pretty much everything when me that go on with during my teenage years, just honing the craft, learning to write songs, learning the ropes in the street amongst the dance hall. Look, there's this one famous DJ I can remember, who his brother would always look out for me in dance, because he knows as soon as me touch him, I'm gonna get an applause, right? So him say, all right, every time I'm in a dance, him watch me, and I mustn't get more than 1 or 2 applause. More than that, and then the mic start going into contact in my teeth like this, up in my mouth, because man hold on the mic and I shove it back in your face. Yeah, man. That's how fierce the dancehall scene was, as a singer.
Yeah.
Every artist go through that. It's a fierce competition. Yeah, man. So
okay, but so that prepared you a lot. So you already were writing your own songs and those things when you started now to come around the studios for real, like in the early 90s, or?
Yeah, man.
Because if I could just say that my question around that, when you started your first recordings with some major producers like Bobby Digital and even John and King Jamis and Barry O'Hara and those, what was it like now to come into that scene, and like I said, the competition, and how to get recognized and picked up to finally get to record in one of the studios?
All right. So for real, when I tell you, say, I start go to studio, we start, all the studios, the major ones that were known, putting out music, had their labels and so on. All of them were in Kingston at the time. So, as an upcoming artist, somebody who interested and have the passion for music, you would have to go to Kingston to record if you decide that you want to now join the big boys and get into recording. So I started that at 13 years old, and this is what I'm trying to let you know. I started going to the studio at 13 years old. My first year in high school, my first week in high school, I spent the week there at Jammy's studio.
Yeah.
At 1984.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So in the 90s, that is why you started knowing about me. The 90s, me already did 10 years in the business already. Cause remember, I started
Yeah.
doing as a teenager, and that time we used to have to what the producers would do is, if you are a singer, they like the way you sound, they ask you, you have a song of your own? And you say, yeah, man, let me hear it now. Sing it, they like it. They say, okay, come back to studio on Thursday or Friday or whatever, When you come to studio on Friday, you recognize that there are musicians there. Jammys would say to me, this that song where you sing for me the last time, sing it for me again. Let the musician them here. And we'd sing the song, and they'd play a track behind the song. That's how, yeah, man, that's how we know how the music is made from scratch. It's from a 13-year-old, I experienced that. I'm like, okay, this is how it goes. Because that was my first exposure to it. A lot of these rhythms that you hear that have become smash hit rhythms were made from some songs from some obscure people who just came and was auditioning, and the producers captured the whole vibe around them, and they may not have ended up being on the rhythm, but they've made, like me always talk about this one rhythm, Frankie Paul's Score rhythm.
Yeah.
The Score, that rhythm was made from one of my singer. It was his song that made that rhythm, and we were teenagers at the time. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
And he never ended up on the rhythm, but it was his song that made that rhythm.
Wow.
Yeah, so me I say that was the whole thing at the time. You see me I say, and so that was the whole approach. So by the time we reach the 90s, man, started singing for Exterminate Fatis, Fatis Borel, Exterminator label. Look, all them times when I talk about, I was working with man like Sly. Sly was making all the drum tracks for Exterminator label from the beginning.
Yeah.
Sly, yeah, it was one of them man then in the early 90s. But you have to remember, as I say, I come from a household a household which was highly religious. So, as a youth then time, you still have to, you would be facing what I call, you'd be facing hell and powder house if you continue to go to school. You know what I mean? So we have to, although we love it and we're in it from we are 13 years old, we never stop going to school. We couldn't stop. You get what I'm saying? So actually, the fullness of me came out when we stopped in 2000, in 1993 or 94, thereabout. 94, I think. 94 was when I got into it harder now. Then we then start singing for man like Exterminator label, Bobby Digital, the same Mikey Spice there, Ingredients label,
Yeah. Barry
some
O'Hare.
Barry O'Hare, um, the Brownie Brothers, we did so little
Yeah.
stint down there. So including King Jammys, of course. You understand? So And then we stepped up to, you know, the other label where we get El Shaddai from, the Penthouse label.
Yeah.
So all of them things, all of them, we basically were recording with them from we were youth. We just never, it was a season because we still live in the country. As much time as we spend in the city, we still live in the country. So we can't just, we're just able to come in, spend 3 days and go back home for another 3 days and come back for another 3 days. So instead of having 7-day weeks, we used to have 9-day weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know it's 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. Yeah,
Okay, so
that's
though all of those producers then would have known you for a long time, even before
yeah.
then you start to actually record.
Yes, man. You see, everything changed when we changed the name. Remember, I told you my name was Junior T as a youth. You know,
Yeah.
growing. And yeah, and that was all through high school. So as soon as I signed the victory, you know, within Rastafari and the whole visage changed. So when I say the whole image changed, so a lot of people really didn't know it. It's just who know, you know, in the circle, who I was on the ground with, in the studio, on the grind, on the ground, on the grind with.
Yeah.
All of us as artists was doing the studio rounds at the time. The great Paned that passed away, you know. Couple man we could have mentioned. Ken Serious. You know, Youth and Grade. Original people I'm talking about now, you know. You know, who else? You know, who was on the everybody on the ground that everybody else knows. So may I say, I mentioned Paned, I mentioned Paul Elliott, I mentioned, you know, the same Beanie Man them, the same all of us were on the ground at the time, all of us as youth. So yeah, them know me, but then them know me, you know, as a what I call a ballad before me was a Rasta. You get what I'm saying? So of course,
Yeah.
a lot of them did know me, but they never knew it was the same person because not only did I change my name, Junior T, yeah man, Timo, big up yourself. See, it was Junior T before, so may I say, and then we changed it to so Junior T was a ballad. And then, you know, as when we start Rastafari, I know we change the name to Jamali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what around what time was that when you started, you know, come into the faith and was it how did that come about?
This a 93, 94, you know, 92, 94. We were already holding the vibe because we had, you know, we're already, the music was already, they already start grow, you know, spiritually, um, psychologically, so I say mentally. You get what I'm saying? We that educate myself in a lot of ways. So, you know, and then now I may have a few real cool rastas in my family, you know. You know, I grew up among some of the toughest rasta them. You get me and say, yo, yeah, big up my cousin them who were rasta. You understand? Yeah. You don't know yourself. Daddy man, big up yourself. See? Me and say all the races when me know them time there as a young man. Both in a Kingston and in the country is what who encourage I and I, who help I and I for find my own to begin to find my own path. So me and say, so yeah, this was probably around 93, 94. Yeah man. So yeah. So it's been more than 2 decades now.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wondering if you are a member of the 12 tribes of Israel since you did a song, Let Reuben Live.
Well, the greatest thing about you know, the natural way of life is that you grow and change, you know. Of course, I wasn't an official member, but I was introduced to the 12 tribe of Israel from even I was in Clarendon. You know, I knew about it, but I didn't know any. The only person that I didn't know that was doing that, that was used to go through, and was a young man from my area in Clarendon, and pretty much he was just going along because it was the it thing to do at the time. You know what I mean? You know, no man when me say me learn it. So me know I was aware of it, but me get introduced to it officially now through the people I was working with at the time as a young man. You see what I'm saying? You know, see, so, yeah man, Cooper Zilla, big up yourself. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I say, you know, that me get introduced to it as a young man, as a young artist, through the people who were managing me at the time. You know, I was managing I see it. You know, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were the ones who introduced I to the 12 tribe movements, you know. In fact, you know, this, yeah, you can't say it avolical. You can't say, yeah, it avolical, you know, influence, you know, because yeah, me that read, I was, you know, I mean, pretty much know the Bible by this time. Me already, you know, remember me I tell us I grew up in a religious household. So of course, when I read Genesis 49 and some other scriptures in the Bible, that would match up with you know, with how they interpreted it. Of course, you know, it was with a call that a really important growing phase in my life, you know, a time in my life when that was important for me. You know, yeah man, 12 tribe. Yeah, but I was never a member. I wasn't made a member or anything. You know, it's just we were just in proximity, and it's a place where we'd hang out as young Rasta. You know, then we're there among other places as we do hang out at Bingi, same way we do hang out at not really hang out, but go and hold the Sabbath up by the EABIC. You understand? Bobo Hill as a young Rasta. Yeah. So we see ourselves as the completeness of Rastafari, not separate and apart. Even though we sing those songs, because all the other races from other houses never fight against the interpretation of that. You know, let Reuben live, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, you know, go on down the line, which would denote your house, the zodiac, which house of the zodiac are you from, but spiritually speaking.
Yeah.
So yeah man, so yeah, you know, it was a turning point now in our life. It was a uprooting of certain things and the planting of certain things, you know, and the unlearning and the relearning and all of that. And you get fine say it's that process still I go on till now, you know, no stop. I mean give thanks to music. Because if it wasn't for the music, you know, and wanting to do it on the level where I, you know, I desire to do it at, then we give thanks. We give thanks to music, man. It really, you know, bringing joy to the world and Bona Christmas time.
Definitely. Well, that's the next thing, but yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so I mean, since like you said, and when you started recording and you were a Rasta and all of your songs are conscious songs, and if we move up to the big album now in 98, was it 98 that El Shaddai came out on Penthouse Records? How did it come about that you get to do this album?
You know, we can always say it was a whole journey. It was a whole thing because at the time, any artist is a coveted space for any artist being at the time in that camp per se, because some real champion artists come out of that camp at the time. You know, you could name them all, you know, from the from the Berries to the Tony Rebels to the Buju Bantons to all them Pepper Seed days, you know, with Dave Kelly and his brother, you know, that one house provide a whole heap of champion. So it was a time excuse me, in the 90s when we were just overflowing with creativity. So it was a time when you had to come with a melody at the time. That is distinct and different from the norm. Not say everybody, because everybody is making good music them time there. You had to really, it was a whole thing when you begin to work with that camp there, man, because the camp there was a serious camp. But again, seem like how me did get introduced to you know, Penthouse through introduced to Penthouse through not Penthouse, I'm sorry, 12 Tribe, through the people I was working with, my management team at the time. Seem like how me get introduced to them. Well, I see when me get introduced to Penthouse Records via the same link. You get what I'm saying? Even though I was around them, I was in the yard, in everything when everything was happening. From the time it began to take over and I go on good, you know. Where the studio was located was a whole studio complex. It was, I think, 3 studios in the one yard, the one complex, and so it was just always buzzing with musicians and artists and business people and people who are interested, new people, old people, you know, all kind of people who would see come through every day. So we were always there before I even started working with that camp. So it was like, okay, I was always here anyway. This is not new for me. Yeah, man. So we just started work with them through. By this time, I already do some work, you know, on my own with the same camp. We already make an independent project. So this project, Pleasant Place, is not my first independent foray, you know, and my first independent approach. Yeah, you know, we began like that, and we made a 5 to 6 song album. One of those songs ended up in an American film with the American comedian called what's her name? Monique. One of those songs was a love song, yes. One of those early songs, way before even El Shaddai. One of those songs that I think, yeah, man, ended up in that movie. So we had from even before El Shaddai that happened. And then El Shaddai came along, due to working with, you know, working with Germain. It was probably one of the first few songs, among the first few songs when me sing for him. Because actually, you know, El Shaddai was done in 96. It was recorded in 96.
Yeah.
It came out in 97. And the album was dropped in 98, but the song was recorded from 2 years prior and was out doing well. The album just took, because El Shaddai, I'm gonna tell you this, because El Shaddai was among the first set of songs when we record for the album. Well, that was recorded for Germany. It was when they heard El Shaddai. I remember the Gargamel was in the studio the day when he heard that song the first time, and he just completely lost it. He could just completely get crazy in the studio. That's how we ended up really touring with him, because, you know, he was really impressed by it. And but after we record that song, then for the rest of the year, you know, traveling and all of that, I had to finish record the album. So the album was finished recorded by 97, and it was dropped in 98. But the song El Shaddai was recorded, I think, if I remember well, in the end, probably this time of the year 96. And then it came out in 97. It came out, it did bang the place in 97, and then 98 the album dropped. Yeah, so
okay, so that was already a big hit, and that probably helped the album too, right?
yes, it was already a big hit before the album dropped. So now I say so. So yeah, that's how the whole. That's how. In fact, you know, I used to work. I all of this before all of this happened. We did a whole heap of work with Fatis, Exterminator.
Yeah.
Fatis was so distraught when he found out that me CM1, you know. So me CM1 used to sing for him under the name, the pseudonym Junior T.
Oh.
Yeah, because when me that sing for him, I never named Jamali yet. As I say, I was still Junior T.
Yes, I was thinking about that. Did you ever record under your name Jamali for Exterminator?
No, I never got to. No, that. You remember the independent project when I tell us I work on before, you know, before El Shaddai. That independent project where one song came off it and was in a movie, you know. It was in the movie called Fat Girls with Monique, yeah, back in the day. That song, that album was recorded between Fatis and Penthouse, between Exterminator and Penthouse time, you know. So it was Fatis, then that independent project. I was still Junior T. I didn't change my name yet. But eventually by we released it kept changing the name. That's how I started doing all of that stuff where you asked me about. 12 Tribe and, you know, 12 Tribe of Israel organization and working with working with Penthouse. It was during the same time. You get what I'm saying? Same time I transitioned from Exterminator, because I work with Exterminator all this time. I'm going to school. By the time I start work with Penthouse, I stop going to school because you know a hit song. But between me working with Fatis, Exterminator, and Penthouse, there was this between Exterminator and Penthouse. There was thing in the middle. This time frame where we made an independent album. So may I say, and me and the same people them who reintroduced me to, well, introduced Germain to me. Me already know him. Me already know I was there. I already know everything. So, you know, he was introduced to me because I had already known him. So that's how we get to record El Shaddai. And after that, everything a history after that, man.
Yes, for real. So you mentioned Buju because you had a collab with Buju, I believe, on the album, but you also, like you said, you went on tour with him. So could you tell us a bit about that tour with him and the Till Shiloh band? Was it a world tour? And when was this tour?
World tour, man. This tour was from 98. I toured with Buju from, I toured with him, from 90 all through 98, all through 99. Yeah, we toured for 2 years. All that time from the song was released, really, you know, I started going on the road with him. From El Shaddai hit, he just took me on the road with him. And
Okay.
I went everywhere with him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what was that like for you then now to come out, experiencing the world like that and being on a tour?
Well, in what way do you mean? What it was like?
You
What way do you
like
mean?
I believe like I don't know, but maybe was it your first time leaving Jamaica and coming out and seeing the rest of the world and performing on big stages?
Nah, it was my first time. It was my first time. Actually, during all those times as a youth, there are things when I left out of the story, me I tell you say, as a youth, before me even change, before I was even Jamali, I was
Mm.
traveling to the Caribbean, where, I was working, when I wasn't in Jamaica, I'm in the Caribbean on an island that's near, you ever heard about St. Martin, right? St. Martin.
Yeah.
St. Martin, that's the Eastern Caribbean. They don't use they use what they call EC dollars. It's a big EC, Eastern Caribbean. That's what the EC stands for. It's a place named Anguilla, where
Yeah.
actually it's really a very affluent kind of destination for all the affluent people them. So I kind of cut my teeth that way a long time, drawing, working with a hotel restaurant chain at the time. As a young singer, me and a drummer from Jamaica, we had a band. We had a what was it? We had a 7-piece band, I think. And was it? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I made the seventh person, and and every summer I'd be there working for them. That was my first real introduction to different cultures, different people from different places in the world. There in the Caribbean, not in Jamaica, another island called.
Mm.
So by the time I get my own hit song to start tour the world, me already was already used to singing for crowds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time. It wasn't a new experience for me. If you get what I mean. I had already,
Mm-hmm.
as a young Ras, before El Shaddai get to travel to come to the United States too, for come and do shows as a young youth.
Okay.
Um so yeah, we say differently, we had already get some experience. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
We already get some experience, you know, amongst the people. So
I
um
see, but this now going on a world tour must have gained you a lot of fans like around the world, more expose you to different crowds now, Europe and everything.
yes, man, definitely. So then time there, it was vinyl days still, so it was a much more tense experience. People,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was those days. Of course, it was a crazy time. People were crazy in love, mad in love with the music. Um,
Mm.
the only thing the only takeaway that when I learned, but I said the only thing that I didn't like about it was that it took me away for, constantly
Mm.
from the, excuse me, from the grassroots people, from my connection to the grassroots people in the Caribbean, in Jamaica in general. It took me away. You know, you must know, and that my songs are well known, but I'm not really, I'm not as recognizable to my own people as a lot of other artists are. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
visible. If it was intentional, I couldn't tell you. It's just my whole approach to the music. And then what happened intentionally after I got taken away, you know, to travel the world and go outside of where there are hardly any ethnic people people from my ethnic background. You understand? So you know, so basically, you know, that's the only drawback when you see about it after. And you find out in, you know, hindsight is 2020, they say. You get what I'm saying? In retrospect, you look back and you say, wow, that did really take me away from the being visible to the people. You get what I'm saying? So I don't have any regrets to this day. I'm just happy to say, yeah, I make good music. It probably would have served me better, you know, if me stay at Jamaica.
Okay. Well, okay, so you were on the road for several years, but when you did come back to Jamaica and you did record another album in 2002, it was released with another great producer, Bobby Digital.
Yeah,
right?
Man. Yes, man.
So could you
Treasure
talk about Treasure Box? How did you know get to do this album?
How did I? Well, you know, so me begin working with Bobby Digital. Bobby Digital heard about me and sent come call me, you know, and that's how we started working. You know, work with him. He was okay. So I work with this producer, X-rated. What's his name? He's now passed
Barry
along.
O'Hare.
Barry O'Hare, my virgin Barry. Barry is the one who kind of gave him the word and be like, yo, you need to work with this youth, you know, and so he sent for me, and it was me that neglect the call at first, you know, because you know, other people, I was just working in another crew, you know, at the time. I was in another crew at the time, which was we're not gonna call him name, but it was a well notable crew at the time. You see me I say? And so when Bobby Digital sent come call me, we decided to say, all right, you know, since, you know, I think the people who made that work with, the people that I was working was doing business for me, you know. Never like him at all. And I think it's, as much as they push me on to that label over there, they would want to see me work with this other label over here. So them keep me away from the one there. So, you know, me have to make my own decision. And so I actually started working with Bobby Digital more after El Shaddai. So yeah, man. So after El Shaddai, it became more clear to me that, you know, me have to do more work. That was for me, that was the real producer right there for me personally. Yeah, but you know, so we get to do some great work, man, and you know, it couldn't turn out another way if, you know, the music always very, it very, very, you know, it carries so much influence with it, and can affect people in many different ways, can change their lives. You have a whole heap of people who are attached to it because of, you know, lucrative reasons. You see me I say, because of, oh, it's so lucrative, or it seems so lucrative. So when we start work, by the time we start work with certain people, including Bobby Digital himself, you have other people in the business who wanted to say, who wanted me to work with them too. And just didn't know how to go about, you know. Cause me's a one of a kind, you know. You know, they never see no artist like me yet. So they just, a lot of people in the business who don't know me, they assume that it's supposed to be this or that way. instead of
Mm-hmm.
dealing with things, whether doing business, handling your business, and not letting your business handling you, or you just deal with it as a, as a grown up, as a supposedly supposed to be mature when you deal with other people, and or professionally. So some people not deal with the thing professionally, and what happened with me and Bobby Digital was affected as a result because of the unprofessionalism of a lot of other tethers, people who are tethered to him, who
Mm-hmm.
wanted to benefit from the whole movement. They had something to contribute, but they didn't want to ask for it. They just wanted to receive it, and so the whole look, I'm just happy to get to make with some, to work with some great people, some great
Yeah.
producers. I'm just happy about that, and that is on my record now, and it can't change. You see me? I say, yeah, I just wish, things they deal with more professionally, as me, I was wanting it to turn out to be. You see me? I
Mm-hmm.
say professional. Unfortunately, people use them emotions and do things, especially in Jamaica.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
imagine. It's a
yeah,
lot
man.
of politics between, like you
Quality.
said, if you like that person, if you dislike, and this kind of thing get in too.
Yeah.
Okay. He,
So Bobby Digital was a great experience to me. I mean, love working with him. Um, he was pretty much, what me like about him was his in the momentness when him at work. He's very in the
mm-hmm.
moment, very, very in the moment. And it's either it's gonna work now or it's not gonna work, especially when he's feeling that vibe. Well, one of the greatest producer to work with, trust me, and yeah, some others we could have called too, but he's definitely one of the best. And me happy
Yeah.
to work with him.
And you get to do another one, another album, right, for his other, or he have a label to call Brickwall, Forces
Yes,
of Nature, Volume 2. Was it you
right.
and Yami Bolo, or
Yes,
Yami
me
Bolo
I
was
am.
featured?
Yes, and I am how this business is. There's a lot of business that goes on without, where you don't know nothing about. You get
Okay.
what I'm saying? That
Oh,
album is one of
yes.
them. That album is one of them. I was
Oh,
surprised when I saw it the first time too. I know it's not an album that I know anything about. It just appeared. So
okay. I know
yeah,
exactly what you mean. And I asked
uh,
Yami Bolo about, that we hear about a lot of the business, that how it was done back then, and a
yeah,
lot of people got robbed basically.
yeah,
And he was very, very careful and said more or less that he'd leave it to Jah, and he will get his reward from,
yeah.
other places.
Well, it's for me. It's been up to Jaffa Morning, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why, as we grow to understand how the world works more, we realize that if you have the resources and the resources and the strength of unity, the strength first that brings the unity there to unite with
Mm.
whatever cause or group or whatever to go to get justice, because he's a justice fighter. If you don't have the
Mm.
resources to seek your own justice, then and me no do that yet. Me no have that yet. So I don't take the same position, you know, until I can fight for my own, and I fight, and I'm a fight and lose. Then me say, okay, now it's up to Jah. But up to Jah yet. Me just speak of it.
Oh,
Up to Jah yet. Because me still a seek justice. It's just we don't have the resources
okay.
to go after, the people responsible for those kind of things. You know what I mean? Eventually we might get some leverage, or the wherewithal to do that kind of thing. The resources that is necessary,
Yeah.
as it takes money to make money,
Yeah.
money also answers to a lot of things, answers to everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So
until then, everything cool until then.
okay. So, but you also had experience now, working with a European label. I noticed was
Yes,
called Reggaeland.
reggae
You
land.
did quite a few. Yeah.
Yes,
Is it Spain, Barcelona?
yes, and it's a Spain, and it's a Spain, and it's a Spain and Italy link up. Let me say it that way. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess human nature will always be what it is. It will never change it, no matter, you know, um, if you're a person of color or not. You just have human nature, and human nature is what stopped that album from go further. I understand, because apparently them have them only personal conflict that was going on that I wasn't privy to. So if you're in the lions, then you will get mauled by the lion, right? Somehow,
Okay.
right? If you're in an accident, something may or may not happen to you, right? Depends on how fortunate you are, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So whatever happened, regular, drop the ball for me. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it
Ah.
is. Yeah. We just never, come out and say anything, because although my fans, they need to know, and people need to know across the world, we didn't say anything because, we did not say anything because we were looking forward to doing more, especially uh, especially with what we've done now with Pleasant Place. You see what I say? So
Yeah.
yeah, we were looking to do more, forward to do more. I wish I could have done more with them, because they do make good music. So may I say,
Yes.
yes, they do make good music. I can't take that away from them. Yeah,
But
man.
you are
So
then definitely not working with them anymore.
no, it's not, definitely not. That's what I'm saying. That's why, without
Are they
going
still in business?
that, yeah.
Are they? Yeah.
This is
Okay.
why, without going into too many details, I've been trying to say it, say it in parables, that
Okay.
human nature will be human nature, because without trying to say I know what happened, I just don't know what happened. This we just you just like you lose signal, like you send a space probe out of space, and it's gone too far away from you now, a million light years away. You just lose signal, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So after a while, it's just signal cut, and there was nothing else. And it's not without, it's not for lack of trying, reaching out and saying, yo, what going on over there, sir? And no response. And then, one and two bird will come and tell you, well, hey, human nature, man, human nature. So without saying too much,
Okay. Yeah.
sometime, they say business and pleasure don't mix,
Wow. Well, I was not expecting to hear all of this, but let's just then focus now on
You know
talking
what?
about your new album, Pleasant Place, which is a great album. It came out earlier this year. And, you know, how did this project come about?
When I was working on the project throughout the whole pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And I began working on the album. Before the pandemic started, I had the idea that I wanted to make this album. And it was pretty much eye-opening for me because, you know, coming from where I come from, reach where I reach, spiritually, you know, theoretically, I've grown to a place where that I realize the work that I've done already and what I'm about to do. I'm still on the same mission. I have not deviated, you know, gone left or right, and may have even deeper revelations and understanding about things, how the world works. Then you know that way there. So so day by day, as we get these revelations and these enlightenments, I try to put them in a song and say, okay, the world may not be going this way, but you know, the world, as in the people who go along with the jig, you know, who's going along with whatever is going along with, they may not be seeing what I'm seeing now. They may not see it, but that doesn't you know, mean say on a reality. You see me I say, so we try to put the album together when we name it the moment we write the song on it. Entitled Her Pleasant Place. Because at the time so many people were talking. Her Pleasant Place is another way of saying it's a metaphor for the dancehall. It's for going to that place where you play music and you just be in an entirely different world, a different mind space, a different space. It's like you start, you know, transcend. You get what I'm saying? You start do things hear things differently. You start look at things differently. Everybody we experience Jamaican dancehall scene will tell you how it has affected them. You play music, you know too. So me just sing about this place, and me call it the Pleasant Place, and really it's a bigger metaphor for that place where you make for yourself amidst all of the chaos in the world. You see me I say? You still have to make your own pleasant place. You can't really make the world determine for you what your pleasant place is. You get what I'm saying? So, and the earth itself is a really pleasant place. Is mankind and make it unpleasant. So, so that's why I make this, you know, including where I go on with during the time, the pandemic. So that was a really eye-opening thing for me as a Rasta. We've been talking about these things and Rasta prophesying about Babylon full control of certain aspects of our life. And for see these things that come to pass now was very eye-opening for we, you know, for a man like me, we tried Rastafari, I live it for over, you know, 2 decades. So, you know, we have to write about it, and I see like it was the perfect time. I'm happy saying we do it too, because we see a lot of artists follow me cue. They may not want to admit it, but most of them wasn't planning to put no album out. You know, some of them come out and say, boy, you know, oh, no music now sell, and so on, and that kind of thing. But then once they see Jamali put out an album, they were like, what? You get what I'm saying? So I'm happy first so that we could inspire them and give them the inspiration to get up and stand up on them feet and fight the good fight no matter what. You see me I say?
Yeah.
Because even if you alone have to fight, well, I just saw it go, you know? So, you know, they won't say it, but I know. because I promote this album for 2 years. If you look at my Instagram page, you will see. But you know this is EVERLINA, you know. 2 years now, I promote this album. Yeah, man. Pleasant Place. We have the cover up there since 2020. I think October 2020. Yeah, man. I promote this album for 2 years. And so if I've been doing that and watching, looking around, because it's the industry that I am a part of, and I see nobody else doing anything, making no moves. You know, hear it in the street, you know, hear it through the grapevine, or no one saying that they're working on no album or anything. One of the dudes who put out the album. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, you were just about to say, what I wanted to ask is, because you were speaking about it, the Pleasant Place, the dancehall. So when you have that song, the first single, Dancehall Avenger, right? So you're speaking, that's about dancehall as the place of reggae music playing, not the genre dancehall, because you have to talk about this song and the lyrics of this song.
Right, okay. I get what you're saying. So it's 2 songs, right? You have one, it's 2 songs on there that one is metaphorical and one is there's the actual thing, which is the Dancehall Avenger. The metaphorical one is what me name the album off.
Yeah.
The song on the album called Her Pleasant Place. And it's a song about me taking my special someone, my significant other, to that place that she loves to be. When she misses, sometimes you hear the woman say, boy, I miss a good dance, I miss a good dance. Long time I no got one good dance. You know what I mean? That is something we as men listen to and understand what it means. So it's a place, it's a pleasant place that when you reach that space in your mind, you're actually at the spot. And then what it does to your whole psyche, your physiology. You get me? I say it's amazing.
Yeah.
No, Dancehall Avenger is an aspect of. May I try to explain that good and bad are both. Two of them is products of the culture. Culture, which is I culture, which is dancehall culture, which is a product of the culture in general, which is Jamaican lifestyle, how we do things, our disposition, how we look on things, how we, culture, as they say, is what you do. You get what I'm saying? So all of this fall under, all of what we do fall underneath the culture, and then now us in the dancehall, we interpret that culture through our lyrics, through the music and everything. Okay. So there was a time in the music when I was, during them same junior T days, what we talked about earlier on. Every artist was aware of 2 things. Every artist in the music in Jamaica was aware of 2 things, a factor that exists, an unspoken, is a criteria? No. Is a unspoken, it's not a criteria. It is what it is. I think we have dancehall, we have slackness, and we have slackness and we have culture. You get what I'm saying? It was slackness and culture. Under slackness would come all those, not only slack things, but anything for destroy, anything, any type of gun lyrics, any type of thing that's not, we're not going to bring about constructive result. We call that slackness. And then so it was 2 sides of dancehall, of what existed in the dancehall. When the sound system operator come and string up, he will start usually, well, by the time he come of age, in my late teenage years, young adolescent, it turns out that the sound system operators would start with the cultural things, the positive music, and that's where they would start the whole thing with, and that go on up until probably the early night, maybe 9, 10 o'clock. Then they switch over to the more not fit for airplay or for TV or parental guidance shit. You get what I'm saying? This is the time now when the breakout music and the kind of music start playing. It always existed, so it was always slackness and culture. You get what I'm saying? It was two sides of it. And every artist did aware of it. Every artist was aware of it. Okay, they respected the culture artist. There was a time when they respected the artist who is not crossing the line, who does not cross the line. And, you know, this is how a lot of the artists who are presently very cultural, spiritual, even as you look on them, they started out with slackness. That's how they started out. A lot of them today who are very cultural, they started out with slackness. Well, I was never one of those artists. I come from the time when that existed. Then, you know, so, you know, they say, you know, if you draw a line in the sand and you keep crossing it enough times, then after a while, there's no more line, right? So it's the same way, you know, with the music. It is the people who are doing the slackness and the culture, the ones. So Dancehall Avenger is about the ones who are doing it, disregarding for uphold the more constructive end of the culture rather than the negative end of the culture. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what the song Dancehall Avenger is about, really.
Yeah.
And, yeah, because all I and I artists, all I and I, you know, you know, choose to you have a choice, you know, especially you're your own man, so you can't. Nobody really not gonna stop you from doing it because there's a crowd for it. There's an audience for that. So, but them always aware. Say, okay, this is what me I do. You get what I'm saying? So that is what that is what Dancehall Avenger is basically about. It is about the two sides of the spectrum, the flip side of the coin.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then now Dancehall Avenger is really me doing, you know, them say two sides, then you have the truth. So now me I present the truth to you. So you see the two sides, and this is the truth of what the two sides bring.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, Dancehall Avenger, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great song, you know, and a great album. And, you know, I had prepared a lot of questions, but you see, time is running fast when you're having interesting reasoning. And I really have to keep these interviews to a time limit because I'm going to upload it on YouTube. But a final question now, since we're in the dance hall, because you may know that I've been very concerned about the state of dancehall and the debate that's going on right now with the youths and between the youths and the more established artists and producers about the new sound of the dancehall. And now we're talking about dancehall, the genre.
Yes.
You know, what the development or how to view it with the trap dancehall that the youths are doing now. What is your view on this whole debate?
Because my whole view is that there are a lot of people who are in it who don't know what they're talking about. Don't know that they don't know that they're talking about. You get what I'm saying? And some people, and then there are some people who know but are not applying what they know. So for me, the whole debate, there's two things. There's nothing new under the sun, they say, right? And then them also say change is really the only constant, right? Things have to change, right? That's it? No. No. As me explained before, the youths, His Majesty told us about this concerning the youths, that they're uncouth and they usually will go along with what their, their sensibilities tell them at the moment, at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
the youths are just looking to enjoy themselves, even if it kills them. Just what I say. um, the government is not responsible. I shouldn't be held responsible for what people do. People should be held responsible for what they do. I think a lot of this we could get more constructive results out of it, where there, if people, we could get more constructive result out of it if people didn't just see it as a lane to say anything and earn some money, to say the most down, low vibrational thing you could ever say. And, it doesn't have to have substance. Them kind of thing approach came, yeah, it come to me before, has happened to me as a young artist. So, what I feel is that the music, as I said, the only constant is change, and that we have also heard and know that show business is 5% show, 95% business. So it means that the people who are funding certain kind of narrative knows that it benefits them to do this. It's like the difference between who makes more money quicker, Apple or Ford? I don't know, or Tesla, or one of them food corporations. I don't know, McDonald's, Wendy's. I don't know who makes more money quicker. What I'm trying to say is everybody's trying to make some money, and they're going to spend their money where they can make quicker turnovers. So the youths, them, first of all, there's a whole heap of plants, sister. You know what a plant is, right?
You mean industry plant? Is that what
Yes,
you mean?
industry plant. Yes, a lot of them are plants. I know. After more than 2 decades in the business, I understand, and it's not their fault, because when you're in a place where you have limited resources and opportunities to make money, people are going to bend the rules a lot of different ways, 1,000,005 ways from Sunday to make some money. Just how things go. So, for me, who is doing this not because me I try for, I should make some money. I'm one of the best in the game. I should make as much money as they are making. However, the people who control who makes more money and who gets more money are the same people who have the controlling interest in what them same artists or them are promote, because they're the ones running things. You get what I'm saying? So a music like what the kind of music where me do, me overstand. Say, it gonna take a while before it becomes really it is already substantial. Because before it becomes something to be taken seriously. Probably is something gonna happen in our earth, in our frequency, vibrationally, that's going to turn people from not wanting to consume so much negative through the music. I see everything as a cycle. So if it weren't that way, then Jah wouldn't have me around here prepare for that time, you know, because people are way too, people should enjoy music for what it is, not for not you know, after you done enjoy yourself, what now? You just live to do it. It's like, all right, to me, let's say it this way. It's sad. This came to me the other day. It come like some the music nowadays is no better than the drugs that people are on. You see me I say, you get drugged up, you know, they make you high, you feel nice, and then now you just go up on this withdrawal and done, and then tomorrow you come back for more. And then so what do we do after that? It's like like an addict, like a drug addict. Not really have nothing.
Okay, it looks like Jamali did you get a call, and then what's happened is you freezed up. You came back.
Yes, we come back. Yes. So it's like
okay.
It's like say it's like the music are coming like to me. This is how me deduce it still. This is how I look at it. It's like yo, after you give it a high there and you know, and you feel nice and you go out and you feel you know, someone commented and say a temporary fix. Yeah man, big up. You see me I say after you get that temporary fix then you know what happens tomorrow. So me I say so what happens after you come off of the high there? You get what I'm saying? It's like you're now a full on zombie. So we have more challenges. We have this music. It's hard to see. For me, it evolved into something which is greater than the sum of its parts. So may I say? So I think it evolved into something which will definitely blow my mind one day. You know, I think we're gonna get some artists now coming out of this era who really understand the value of music. That it should be substantial and that it shouldn't be one kind of fast food kind of music. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I feel about it. I just think say what did have happened? Same way when me a youth. When I was a youth, you know, we used to love that type of stuff too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so you know, until we get something more tight, then we basically just run around like a headless chicken. So we have to know. I'm just thankful say a man like me in the business. You know, then we there. Sometimes we wonder what it would be like if I wasn't in it, what it would be like. Because most of these people, some of these people in the business me inspire a lot of them. They're just not talking. But I know because I've been in it before them. And if you check how much of them have the name Jah, I'm the one who brought that forward in the 90s and me bring that the Jah thing there in the 90s. You know, see, me are the one who right now some prominent artists and some styles and things that they have. What do you call it now? What do you call it? Their tagline melodies. Some of these artists is me them get them tagline melodies from. So that me are one of the only artists who are coming out and have me are the only singer and me have been at a long time. This is the next thing when I want my fans them for research. Me are the only singer who coming out and bust well known like that I did. I'm gonna have like a sound alike. Avid sound alike. Yeah. You understand? They couldn't pattern me.
That's true. Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
know, Jamali,
and
I
I'm gonna
have.
do my talk saying that. I'm gonna you hear somebody for the thing I say something DJ Evelina and the man call you on name. I don't call no name. If you know, you know. If you don't know, but you know that melody is mine, you know. Yeah, yeah. And when next artist take it, just say, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, and we create them thing there, man. And we create them thing there. You see me I say, and then know
Well,
that.
they say imitation is the greatest flattery, right?
Well, why don't you just
So it
pay me instead of
depends on
flatter?
how you. Okay, yeah.
Just say
Well,
pay me, don't flatter me.
if you
Chip,
can pattern those things,
chip off some
patent.
of the thing for me. Chip off some of the thing for me. Don't chip off some of the thing for me. Don't flatter me. Break some bread with me. I don't want flatter.
All
Flatter
right.
cannot pay my rent. So may I say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, you know, I will have to say, you know, thank you for being a light then, one of them who are shining a light in a dark times that we are living in. And, you know, that's why a lot of the youths are creating a very dark music too, because they're not coming from a very bright place. And so, you know,
well,
but it's good that we still have you from those older generations still here, still doing
right.
it, showing
Yeah,
the positive side and that there
yeah.
is a way to go. Reggae is still alive and well.
Still
And
alive,
I
man.
have to thank you for all of the great music that you have, you know, come with all these years and I have a lot in my shelves and I enjoy it.
And we have many more for
So
God. Trust me. I have so much more.
yes, so that's looking great for the future, and I mean
Yeah.
all the best now. Your album is doing good, and like you said, you have more things coming up. Could you just mention something? Do you have any particular plan for 2024 when it comes to
I
new
was
music?
I was planning that I was saying that we need to let we need to lobby all Europeans to take away the reggae section away from America because they've never supported reggae from its inception here in America, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the Europeans who should call that shot because Europeans have been our biggest supporter. They're the ones who understand the music. They're the ones who I mean, well, the cultural side of it, and also me always want to say I think they should have separated dancehall from reggae, and it's a big disservice to us to give
Mm.
us a potpourri and and write the narrative for us because dancehall is different from reggae. It
Yeah, yeah.
falls beneath the same umbrella, but it's similar, not the same, and they can't, and they're doing us a great disservice by not giving it two different genre, and I think this is
Yeah.
systematic. You get what I'm saying? It's systematic Bob did tell them one music's gonna teach them one lesson. So the lesson is still good. They're still gonna learn it no matter how them fight against it. And this is why we're here to to make the world know. So, we don't have any big plans. I understand. I could say some things on your show. Um, but probably another time. We left it for another time.
Mm-hmm.
Because because you know I've been there in Europe and heard privy to certain conversations where now I can see what was meant by those kind of conversation, and that
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been called I've been doing this for so long, and them not call me. It's not like, you get what I'm saying. It soon come to a point where I probably will say, listen, you know, I'm not coming to Europe for nothing because they don't want none of the real soldiers. Them. I remember when when Peter Tosh and them were saying that, Africa has to be free by 1983 and no nuclear
Yeah.
war, certain kind of things. We cannot continue to be complicit and pretend as though the people who are here who are championing for justice in the world, we should not turn a blind eye to it, because that's what my music is about, really. Hey, when one of us is mistreated, all of us is mistreated. And if nobody can tell me how for stop the mistreatment, then we still have to fight for justice. So if me's a justice warrior and me nah see you invite me, that means you're complicit in injustice. You get what I'm saying? I may wish me have a megaphone to broadcast it. You get what I'm saying? Because it's 2023 now. It's not. You get what I'm saying? This is a future time. It's not some ancient thing again. It's not, it's not a time when people are easily fooled. So if you ask me what my plans are, it's just to continue to be a warrior for justice, continue to can produce justice. I think too many of us as reggae artists just like the flash, the glamour, the glitter about it all, and forgot what it really is supposed to be about. That is what I discover for myself. The only place I see myself going next year is Japan, because they've already invited me, but I still haven't got no invitations from anywhere in Europe or anything for a long time now. So, I'm not complaining though. We still do the work.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully soon you will make it over to Europe again. And after COVID too, things have been a bit slow, but touring is starting up, and so anything for the future. I have to thank you again, and it's been a big pleasure to have this interview, and I wish you.
Thank you for having me. And I feel blessed.
Yes, yes. We have to say salute and forward, and have a great continued Sunday.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Bless up.
Thank you so much. Bless up.
Yeah, man. Have a great rest of your Sunday too. Okay.
Yes. Bless up. Give thanks.
Respect to all the listeners and everybody tuning in today.
Yes.
See.
Big up.
Share it out. Subscribe to Sister EVERLINA.